Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of our Conversation with the Superintendent. Joining us today is Acting Superintendent Dr. Marty Pollio. Welcome, Dr. Pollio. You have 100 days so far as Acting Superintendent here in JCPS. How do you feel? The last time we talked was right before school started. What have the highlights been of the first 6 weeks or so?
Well, Allison, it's been a great first 100 days on the job, and it's been a lot of hard work. A lot of commitment to change and improvement, and hopefully supporting our schools, our students, teachers, administrators. Without a doubt, the highlights for me have been the opportunity to get into so many schools. So I think at this point I'm up to about 40 to 50 schools. I've lost track of the number at this point, but getting into schools and seeing so many teachers and students that are passionate and committed to learning. Being as a principal and in a school for the past 20 years, it hasn't afforded me the opportunity to be in our schools throughout JCPS as I've been in my own school. And so it has been inspirational for me to be in so many schools and to really see the passion of the educators throughout all of our schools. And in every single one of our schools, that passion it has been inspirational, and seeing what our teachers, principals, and staff throughout all of our schools are willing to do for our kids has been an incredible opportunity for me. So more than anything, just seeing that throughout the schools has shown me that JCPS is a great organization that does so many great things for students. We have a long way to go and a lot to do. Especially from central office and as an organization in some of the areas that I've identified. But we definitely have teachers and educators with passion, and with that passion and energy, we can do great things.
Well, I know you're a high school principal, former. You seem to really enjoy going to the elementary schools. You've met a lot of good friends when you're going to the elementary schools.
Well, I never thought that I would be an elementary school person. I've been a high school person my entire career, and high school people are a little different than elementary, but it is definitely great to be in elementary school, see all the smiling faces. Kids seem a little bit more excited to see me, and so giving kids high fives and talking to kids and teachers and seeing them do the fun things that there's really a passion for learning all the time. It's been a neat thing for me to do, to be into elementary schools. It's the first time in my career that I've been able to spend time in elementary schools other than my own daughter's school as a parent. But to actually be in classrooms and see the learning that's going on in elementary schools has been a great opportunity for me.
You just left a classroom, and before school started, you said it's great to have that passion on day 1, 2, and 3, but we have to have that same passion 6 weeks in, 12 weeks in. Are you still seeing that passion right now when you go to our schools?
I am. Was in Miss Parr's kindergarten classroom at Klondike Elementary. And it was definitely, I said, the passion that she has for her students is inspirational, and that's class after class that happens. But it's challenging. I mean, it's always challenging in all of our schools as the days go on to keep that passion and energy that our staff and our students have at day 1. Everyone is fired up for the first day of school, as well they should be. But a great organization, great schools, great classrooms, great teachers. They have that passion, that energy for 175 days. And so sometimes as we get into the school year in mid-October, it becomes a little more challenging to come with that passion and energy every single day. So I've challenged our principals to make sure that they work on that culture and climate within their schools. We had a gold day on Monday. I challenged them to make sure that they do, to make sure that fire is still lit with our teachers, and to give them the culture type things that are going to make sure that they still have that fire lit. It's our job as principals to do that. I try to do it with the principals, as a head coach does with a team, is to provide that inspiration. But we got to make sure our teachers continue to be inspired to do that great work. I see it day after day, but we've got to continue to work on that and make sure that passion and energy is there every single day.
When you took this position, you said you were going to focus on 3 things, and that would be culture and climate, student engagement, and organizational coherence. And you said, I'll know it's working when I go into schools and I can ask somebody who works in the lunchroom, what are we about? I can ask the clerk at the front desk. Are you seeing that when you go into schools? Because I'm hearing it from folks who are really buying into that and adopting that within the walls of their schools.
So I hear it a lot, and that's the important part about it. And I've always said when people start to joke with me about it, that I usually know that it's starting to take root and take hold when people joke a little bit about it. So that's been a good part. I hear it in schools all the time. When I've had the opportunity to speak to groups who visit our schools, like Focus Louisville from Leadership Louisville Group, I spoke before they were going into schools to hear our principals speak, and I said, I'm interested to see if you come back and if the principals use these words after their presentation. And overwhelmingly, I heard our principals were speaking that language. And those three focus areas align very closely with the board's Vision 2020 of what our goals are for long-term with Vision 2020. And I believe that if we improve culture and climate day in and day out in our schools, we increase our student learning, and we improve our organizational coherence, where everything we do is supporting schools in those areas, that we will continue to get better and better as an organization. So we're going to continue to focus on those areas, and I think we'll continue to see improvement. Initial results from our comprehensive school survey show that we have positive culture and climate numbers coming back to us through the first quarter of the school year. We're going to get into that data and report that out soon. But we saw some good data to report. We've just got to keep it up and continue to improve.
Your message to us, the final question at the administrator retreat, was, I love my job, I'm really, really good at it, and I'm going to save your child. Did you ever expect that to spread as much as it did? We're seeing that on Twitter and trending, and we're seeing that every time we go into a school, teachers, staff really embracing that. Did you ever expect that to catch on like it did?
I really didn't. Usually I look for a hook anytime I'm giving a speech, especially when it's something that is inspirational. I think that goes back to my coaching days of giving a hook to get a team ready to play. But as I was speaking to our administrators to kick off the year, I was just looking for a hook for the speech, a theme for the speech. And that video, Life or Limb, with that philosophy, I love my job, I'm really, really good at it, and I'm going to save your child, was the hook. And I thought it was a good one, and I was inspired by it, but I never thought it would take off through the district as it has, which has inspired me. So it's interesting that it's come back to me to inspire me. And it just shows the passion of our educators, from our administrators to our teachers, that they have taken that philosophy and carried it on through the first quarter of the school year. So it is not what I was expecting to happen, but I'm glad it did, and I hope it continues on.
Well, and don't forget to follow our acting superintendent on Twitter at JCPSSuper. And just so you know, we have a lot of teachers who tweet Dr. Pollio about what's going on in the class, and he's been known to make a surprise visit or two. So send him a message and invite him out to your school, Definitely. And you never know when he'll show up. Thank you so much, Dr. Pollio, and we'll look forward to catching up with folks right before the holiday break.